Hello friends, in this video I've brought to you another very interesting case study of one of your favorite companies, Relaxo Footwear. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe right now and hit the bell icon to activate the notifications. And I've created a new Telegram channel to discuss, share my views and few things which cannot be shared on YouTube. I will be sharing on my Telegram channel. So please do follow me on Telegram and the link is mentioned on your screen. I am Varun Agarwal and let's get started. So I have chosen Relaxo Footwear for this video because of the poll which I had conducted in my YouTube community, and there almost 50% of the people have chosen Relaxo Footwear to be analyzed. Right now I have created another poll to select a company for the next video, so you can participate in the poll and the highest voted company will be chosen to create the next video. So let's start with the introduction. Relaxo is the largest footwear manufacturer in India. It has 8 manufacturing units. It has a portfolio of 9 brands which are very popular and most of us know those brands. From 1976, two brothers, Mr. Mukund Lal Dua and Mr. Ramesh Kumar Dua, grew Relaxo to a huge company which is right now. They manufacture more than 6 lakh pairs of footwear every day, and Relaxo is known for its comfort, style, workmanship and also value for money. In the financial year 2020, they have manufactured 17.9 crores pairs of footwear were sold in financial year 2020. So by this you know that their scales of operations are really very huge. Mr. Ramesh Kumar Dua is the managing director of the company and you can see his photo on the screen. Now let us discuss some milestones achieved by this company. In 1976 they launched Relaxo brand. In 1984 they started Relaxo Footwear Limited, and in 1995 they came up with an IPO to set up a manufacturing plant in Haryana. In 2000 they expanded the capacity in Haryana. In 2005 they launched Flight and Sparks brands, and they also started their own company owned store in 2005. In 2007 they started exports, and by 2007 their revenue had crossed about 235 crores per annum. In 2012 to 14 there were a few things like they signed up top-notch celebrities for marketing their own brands, and they strengthened the distribution channel. They launched e-commerce platform, and also they increased people's engagement through new products and innovation strategies. So a lot of things took place in this phase. In 2017 they revamped the identity of the brand, and in 2019 they set up their 9th plant in Rajasthan, and a merger of a company also happened, about which we will discuss in detail in the coming slides, and they crossed the revenue of about 2292 crores in 2019. Now let us discuss the business model of this company. Relaxo is into manufacture and sale of products in India and also into exports. They sell their sales are through retailers, distributors, retail outlets, exports and also e-commerce. In retail they are selling through two models. One is the company owned stores, where the company has an exclusive store which it operates on its own, and the second type of store is franchise model. They are continuously developing new brands every few years, and they are also trying to innovate more products and launch more and more SKUs under the existing brands. Relaxo's focus is mainly on value for money products, and they try to sell or make products which appeal to the mass in general. They have 9 brands right now and more than 10,000 SKUs, and they have a distribution network of more than 50,000 retailers, and they have exclusive brand outlets which are around 390. So these are the brands which are operated by Relaxo Footwear: Sparks, Boston Flight, Mary Jane, Relaxo, Bahamas, Casuals, Schoolmate, Kids Fun. Let us discuss the market and the industry in which this company operates. The footwear industry is in focus in the Make in India mission, which the country is focusing a lot right now, and There is no compromise by the customers generally nowadays in the comfort and style. So Relaxo becomes a preferred brand when compared to the unbranded software. The working women are rising more and more in India, so that is increasing the demand for women's footwear, and people are becoming more and more brand conscious. That is also increasing the sales of branded products and branded footwear. The Indian footwear market is expected to grow at a double digit growth rate, and by 2022 the total market is expected to be around 72,000 crores at a CAGR of about 11% average is the growth rate expected. And the branded footwear is expected to take more share in the total market size, because people are becoming more brand conscious, and at present also it is about 45% of the total footwear demand. Who are the competitors of Relaxo footwear? We all know as Bata is the first competitor, Khadim, Mirza International manufactures Red Tape and some other brands, and Liberty Shoes. So these are the main competitors of Relaxo footwear. What is the competitive advantage which Relaxo has when compared to its competitors? It has its own manufacturing units, so that is again a strength, and they continuously keep innovating and making more and more new products. They have a lot of brand advantage, as over so many 30 to 40 years they have built up so much brand identity, and the people know their brands very well. They have a very good distribution network, as we have discussed in the earlier slides, and they have a lot of economies of scale. Since they are such a huge company, their costs are much more less, and they have much more advantage when compared to the smaller companies. The same advantage reflects in their procurement, as they are able to get things at a lower cost because of their high volume. They have strong e-commerce presence, and they are growing their e-commerce presence every year, as their focus is a lot in growing their e-commerce sales. They are also trying to grow their export sales, and they are taking new Bollywood celebrities like Salman Khan, Akshay Kumar in their branding and marketing initiatives. So these are all the advantages when compared to its competitors which Relaxo footwear has. What are the growth prospects in the near future for this company? This company has started a new manufacturing plant in financial year 2019 at Bhiwandi, which is to manufacture flip flops, and the distribution channel is growing a lot, and there are a lot of still not penetrated markets like tier 2, tier 3 cities and villages where Relaxo is still not selling. So there is still lot of scope left for expansion within our country itself for Relaxo. They are taking a lot of marketing and branding initiatives which you and I have already observed by watching television and social media. They are focusing a lot in growing the e-commerce sales, so they have bright future on the online sales front. And in terms of expansion, they are in physical form, they are having two models. One is COCO, which is company owned and company operated exclusive stores, and the second one is FOFO, where it is a franchise model where the franchisee operates the store and the company supplies the stock. They have 390 exclusive brand outlets, and their volume sales in terms of volume is also growing every year. The consumption of footwear, the demand for footwear, and the brand consciousness is also growing, which will support this company's growth in the near future. So these are the growth prospects expected from Relaxo in the near time. What are the risks which this company may face? The global economic and political factors which any company faces. Since this company has lot of exclusively owned stores, if there is a increase in real estate rates, then they may face higher cost of rentals. Financial policies of the government may expect the company, and the other factors which may affect the customer spending, like the COVID situation and some other factors, also may affect this company's growth. Let us discuss the financial highlights after understanding all the basics like business model and history of the company. First, we'll start with the quarterly results. In the Q4, the March quarter of 2020, the revenue was about 540 crores compared to year on year, the previous year March quarter, which was 635 crores. So in this March quarter, the revenue is slightly dropped Compared to the December 2019, which is one quarter before, the revenue was 600 crores. So compared to that also, the revenue is slightly down. So this also, the one reason for this will be the last few days of March, which was affected by the COVID lockdown. And the profit after tax in March was 52 crores when compared to the previous year March, which was 54, and December quarter was 54. So there is a slight drop in profit also for the March 2020 quarter. Let us understand the overall trend of the financial in the last 5 to 6 years. If you see the revenue from operations, this has been steadily growing. There has not been a drop except a little in financial year 2017, and in financial year 2020 it has clocked a yearly revenue of about 2410 crores, which is very good. The profit after tax is also continuously rising, and in financial year 2020 it has clocked a profit after tax of about 226 crores. The EBITDA is again continuously growing at a very decent rate. The sales in terms of volume is also growing pretty well, with a slight drop in the financial year 2020. The EBITDA percentage is consistently maintained, and in financial year 20 it was about 17%, which is pretty decent. The return on capital employed is also consistently maintained. This may slightly drop down if the company grows very big, because it is difficult to maintain a very high percentage of ROCE. The profit after tax margin is again consistently maintained. In fact, in financial year 2020 it has grown to 9.4%, which is very good. The return of equity is slightly dropped down when compared to the previous years, but in financial year 2020 this again improved to about 19%, which is pretty decent. The debt equity ratio is going down, which is a good sign, because the company is earning profits and paying back its loans, and the loans have become almost zero now. The company has been paying consistent dividends, and in the financial year 2020 also it has paid dividend of about 125%, which is slightly less than the previous year, but there has been dividends which are consistently paid every year. Now let us understand the shareholding pattern. In the one which you see on the screen is of March 2020. If you see, the promoters holding is about 71%, which is a very good number, and the mutual funds hold about 6.4%, and the FIIs hold about 3% in the company. The remaining share of about 20 odd percent is by the retail investors. The promoters holding of 71% is not pledged at all, which is again a good sign. The equity capital is consistently maintained, except in the financial year 2019 it has given ESOPs, it has given a bonus of 1:1, and a company of called Marvel Polymers Private Limited was amalgamated into Relaxo Footwear. So Relaxo shares were issued to that company's shareholders. So this was the reason the equity has changed in the current year. Otherwise, equity is consistently maintained. The reserves of the company are growing pretty well. The company has very low debt. In fact, in the financial year 2009, the long-term borrowings had become zero, but in the current year, it has taken a loan of about 120 crores. The cash flow from operating activities is about 319 crores, and the cash flow used in investing activities is about 115 crores. So this company has quite positive free cash flows, which is again a very good sign. The company has paid an interim dividend of rupees 1.25, which is about 125% in the financial year 2020, and it has also issued a bonus of 1:1 in financial year 2019. The dividend yield of this stock is about 0.20%, which is pretty less, because this company is a growing company and they want to invest maximum profits in the growth of the company. The net profit margin is about 9.38%, which is pretty decent. The return on equity is 17.78%, and return on capital employed is 21.61%, which are also pretty decent numbers. The inventory turnover ratio is 5.53, which is slightly less, but it's okay. And the sales growth average in the last 5 years is about 10.4%. In the last 3 years is about 13.76%. So in the last 3 years, the company's growth has been a little better when compared to the last 5 years average. Now let us discuss the valuations. The last traded price of the stock is about 635 rupees and the 52-week high and low is 395 and 830. In the last 1 year, the stock has given a return of about 53% in spite of the lockdown and the March fall. And the last 5 years, the return is about 182%, which is very good. The market cap of this company is about 15,863 crores and the PE ratio is 69.7, which is quite high. Industry P is about 47.92. The earning per share is 9 rupees 11 pice and the price book ratio is about 12.47, which is again quite high. If we calculate the intrinsic value as per Benjamin Graham's formula, it comes around 200 rupees. So this stock is trading about almost 3 times its intrinsic value. So in terms of valuation, people have given this stock a lot of premium and it is trading at a quite premium valuation. Let us see the price chart. In the price chart has a very good pattern. If you see, it has been consistently rising. It has fallen down in the March fall, but after that it picked up very well and it has rebound and it is again trying to consolidate itself for taking another growth. Let us see some news announcements of the recent past. Due to lockdown, the manufacturing and sales were shut for a few days in March and April, which happened for almost all the companies. And the overall demand for footwear, they see that it has gone down a little because of the lockdown, but the open slipper segment sales have increased even though it is the lockdown situation. So I have given you all the indicators. So based on that, you can take a right decision whether or not to invest in this stock. To summarize, this company is a market leader in the segment of footwear. It has a lot of brand advantage. It's a mid-cap stock, so it has a lot of scope to grow further. The growth has been consistent. The management is very experienced and they are continuously growing and diversifying into new brands and new geographies. The debts are very less and it's in control. It is almost a debt-free company, but valuations are slightly high and I think we should look for the right opportunity to get into this stock on some fall. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it. If you like it, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. I have created a new Telegram channel to discuss a lot of new things, analysis, create polls and take your opinions. So I request you all to join my Telegram channel and the link is on your screen. Thank you for watching this video and have a great day.